Whew. It's been a heavy week full of history, betrayal, war. Oh, we've got all this good stuff. And we continue through the history of the people of God. But now we're jumping back a little bit. So, like I said, the book of 1st and 2nd Samuel was one book. And the book of 1st and 2nd Kings was one book. And together, those books of Samuel and Kings was one narrative. Now we have a later narrative, the book of Chronicles. And this is actually the end of the Hebrew Bible, the way it's structured. And it's interesting. Well, 2nd Chronicles is. It's interesting. So, 1st Chronicles starts with a lineage. So you can see how far back they're going. They're trying to do an exhaustive history. But I think you'll see this book ends with the building of the temple and a peaceful succession between David and Solomon. That should be the red flag right there. If you read or watched these other videos, that's not how that happened in what book is that? 2nd Samuel. No, 1st Kings. Oh, both. It's the gap there. Anyway, that's not how that happened, is it? So, this is basically your book of united monarchy. And it's interesting. It adds to our conversation of who is David? Who was Saul? I think Saul's kind of a tragic figure, chosen by God, but doesn't end very well for him. What's the commentary there of why that went awry? Chronicles and Samuel have different answers. And again, David. How great was David? What were his mistakes? What were his triumphs? Those, again, the answers are a little different now. And of course, the beginning of Solomon. So, this book, I think if you're reading this, you should read the other ones, right? This is basically different biographies, giving different perspectives of the same people. I think, too, God's role theologically is a little different. So, the other books are your Deuteronomic history played out, right? The people who wrote Deuteronomy, they're the same priests or whatever, wrote Kings and Samuel Kings. And so that has a certain theology and law and narrative flow. This is different. This is a written later. Certain things have come to pass, an exile, if you will. Understanding of God's role in all this, God's opinion in all this, the role of the prophets, it's different. Very different. So, not only is historically the perspectives are different, the theological perspectives are going to challenge the reader to think a little bit. So, again, if you're looking for a different take on these stories, check out 1st Chronicles. And for 2nd Chronicles, we'll wrap up the week tomorrow.